finger puppets is the wrong thing. Everything is going great. I'm just happy the song's out. After you realize that someone, I was talking to someone and they were like, oh yeah, you showed me this song, like the start of the song back in like April or something of last
Yeah.
year. Crazy.
Yeah. I think that was when it was like April or May because I had just written it. So I think I had sent it to you right after that happened. Yeah. So I guess, I mean, for for anyone here joining us, hello. And the genesis of this song was really cool because Dylan and I had gotten connected. We're talking about doing a collaboration, and I had just written this song with Yoshi Flower on Zoom. And if you don't know Yoshi, he's an amazing solo artist and writer. And he and I had just like
Amazing.
gotten together on Zoom, being like, let's just work on something, like no agenda. And I'd had this thought about this concept of superhuman as like, can we flip it to say that, we're superhuman when we're super vulnerable and when we are searching for meaning and when we're falling short, because that's such a universal part of the human experience, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
that like I'm strong, which
Yeah.
which is often how we think about superhuman. So Josh and I had written that song and I sent it to Dylan, and you like, I feel like that night or the day after you were like starting to work on it, and I feel like there was that energy of, we had that energy of collaboration that you start to feel when something's exciting.
Yeah, seriously, it was such a if the moment I heard it in its very early infancy, I think I was just like my head, I knew where to take it, and I think that original kind of the riff at the drop, the da na 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 na, was like that came within a few minutes of sitting down, at my computer, and I think, like I've said to you before, like that is when the song is good because everything's connecting. It's not just like an idea or whatever, but like it just flowed, and you can't plan that no matter how hard you try. But yeah, it's just out in the world now. It's out in the
Who's been listening and writing, thank you guys for doing that. I'm glad that the song is hitting. And I was talking to a friend this weekend about this, and I'd be curious, Dylan, like your thoughts on it. But for me, music has always been that place where I get to be dark, and I get to express those parts of myself that are kind of scary. I often get the comment like, but like then I met you, or like on like you're so like bubbly and like happy and stuff. And I think part of the reason that I do feel there's like a lightness in my personal life and just when I'm with people hanging one on one, is that I get to like that kind of heaviness gets to, I get this channeling in music.
yes. Hmm.
And I feel like this song was a really, to me, really means a lot because I have these moments where I get so down on myself for, you know, what I perceive as a failure. And it's in those moments that I actually, especially lately, sit back and go, you know what? I don't know if I'm a failure. I feel like I'm just a human. And that's
Hmm.
okay, right? Like,
Hmm.
it's okay that I'm imperfect and I'm improving and I'm learning and I'm working on things. And that's just been, yeah, that's been a really big thing for me lately. But I'm curious for you with music, like, because a lot of the music you make is like super high energy, super, like, what part of yourself do you feel like you channel in your music? And does it change? And has it changed?
Totally. That's a great question. I It definitely has changed. I think like with this song too. I mean, for me, I resonated with the lyrics right away, and so for me, when I play, having that emotional connection to the lyrics is, for me, really important. Outside of just, oh, this drop is crazy or this moment is crazy, because for me, there's the meaning, in the off, when the beat's not going crazy or the high part of the song isn't there. There's more that you're saying. There's the story that you're saying, and so I think for me, I'm kind of similar to you in the sense that when I go on stage, I like, that's my time to kind of let out anything that's in my life or that moment. It's really freeing. It's very, a lot of times I come off stage and I feel like I just, ran, 10 miles or something. Like I feel like, not necessarily I'm like, oh, I'm breathing heavy, but like my body feels like all my serotonin and everything was left on stage. And so I
Mhm.
think when I make music, sometimes it's like that. And, a lot of times in the past, I had a really hard time with, once something was done, I would put it out and I would immediately hate it. Like I didn't want to listen to it. I didn't want to listen to my own stuff. I was like, I hate it. I don't like it. I want to change it. And, you know, it's a good thing because so far this song, I haven't had that. So, that's always a good thing. Um, but yeah, I think this song has been really, really meaningful for me, and I'm really, really excited. And, it's cool.
Yeah, and I think I was just seeing in the comments like some people were talking about like, you know, imperfection, like is perfection, right? And I
Hmm.
do think this idea that we have kind of culturally about reaching, like getting to the point, right? That there's some point that we're going to get to as individuals where we will have, perfected our routine, where we will have our kind of physical and mental health, like everything's going to be straight in that department. We have this idea that we're going to reach that pinnacle. And I think as I've gone through life, I've realized that that's a pretty inaccurate way to view things. It's not really how it pans out. It's this constant. It's a constant evolution. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's
Hmm.
disappointment. There's joy, and so much of it is unexpected. And that's actually the human experience, right? And there are many things like, whether it's a workout program that's like, once you get to 3 months, it's gonna be great, And the thing is, like, the whole, it's all just a journey. And and I
Yes.
think if you're able to, one thing I've been doing recently for myself is to kind of disengage from the mountaintop perspective, that like I'm climbing up a mountain, and once I reach the top, then blank, fill in the blank.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
instead being like, I'm actually just on a long ass walk. It's just kind of like, it's a flat walk with a few
Yeah.
little hills, and I'm going to just view it as such. And that's been a really positive way for me to think about my own kind of, you know, achievements and disappointments, and the way that I change as a person.
I think that's an amazing way to look at it. I think it's funny you said that because, like we were saying in my family, it was started by my grandfather. It's called Enjoy the Journey. So, like, you know, it's similar to what you're saying. It's like you're enjoying the process across the board, the lows, the highs, everything in between, because this is all we get. This is this time on the earth, everything else, and you have to realize that that there's no real goalposts. We're just figuring things out. We're all figuring things out, you know. But I, you know, I feel like that kind of is similar to kind of what you said. I was kind of laughing to myself because we were having this serious conversation, and then people are talking about lasagna in the chat too. So, you know, I love the internet.
Well, and I guess to riff on that for a
Lasagna is
minute,
important though.
it's important to have levity and lightness as you go through this life, right? Like,
Hmm.
I think, I was recently reading a book, and by the way, this is a big book recommendation. So if anybody here on the chat is
K.Flay's book
looking,
club.
listen, they some of these folks know I'm big into books. I just read an amazing book by an author called Miriam Toews, Toews. It's called All My Puny Sorrows, and it's a really heavy book. It's a novel, and it's essentially about a person whose sister is trying to commit suicide, right? So it's like this heavy thing, but it's such a funny book. It is like such a beautiful and funny book. And I think I was really struck by how folks who are going through real hardship and real kind of like angst and agony and feel out of control, how a really natural and important response is to find moments of humor and to find like the sort of the wink of the universe. And
Hmm.
I really enjoyed it. So anyone who's like kind of looking for a slightly heavier novel, but I mean, it's super readable. It's really good. I mean, Dylan, I don't know if you're in the mood for a book, but it
I'm in for the
was,
book.
it was, it's such a good book, truly.
I'm on
Um,
planes a lot, so I'm always down for anything to read on the book on the plane.
yes. Okay. The name here, I'm gonna type
Yeah,
it in
write
the
it
chat
out in the name
because
so the
people
people know.
are, okay.
Tell the people what they want to know.
Yeah, no, 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 I will. Okay. All My Puny Sorrows, um, by Miriam Toes. Okay, so now I have the question. I know you've posted a few videos, Dylan, of playing this song live. What's your touring schedule like? Like, where is this? I feel like we talked about this a little bit, but where does this come in the set? Like, how are you thinking of this song in the context? Because you also, for if anyone here is live with us and you don't know all of the Party Favor discography, there's a lot of hype. I mean, really, really hype, super,
Yes,
super,
very
super
much
fun.
so.
Not that this isn't, but it's a different, there's a little bit of a
Hmm.
different energy, right? So like, how is that playing into how you're thinking of the live show?
Yeah, good question. Well, you know what's funny? Like this new album and this new kind of process I'm working on has been kind of straying a little bit away from what I did in the past, and really focusing more on songwriting and the process of the song as a whole. So I'm really excited to kind of see, because I'm working on that right now. I'm like, I don't know exactly where in the set it's going to go, and I've played it out, kind of at all times of the set, but in terms of like the story of the set that I want to do, I haven't quite figured that out yet, but the goal is to have that ready by the shows we're doing like in June and beyond.
Okay.
Um, but if you come see me before that, then you're gonna hear the song, and it's always gonna be a little different. But it's been really fun. I've been playing it out, and I've loved watching. You know, before the song came out, you sometimes you play a song, and nobody knows the lyrics. But by the time that the second chorus came in, people were already singing along, and that's when I really knew that it was connecting with people because, you know, I've done it before with other demos or ideas I was starting, and sometimes I'll play stuff and I don't say it's mine just to kind of see the reaction. And this one, clearly people wanted to hear more, and they were reacting to the lyrics and singing along and whatnot. So uh, I'm thinking somewhere in the middle, but you might have to come see a show and then you'll find out. But I think that's where the journey is going to be. But who knows? Maybe towards the beginning. I don't know. That's a great question. You really put me on the spot there.
I mean,
Thanks a lot.
this is not binding. I feel like we're having you like your fireside energy is making me very at ease. I'm just like, you
I know.
know,
I thought about putting on like outdoor, like nice calming music too during this chat,
yeah.
just to really put us at ease. But then I didn't know if it was going to cause issues with audio. So just imagine
Okay.
there's
I'm imagining.
nice, like like the Calm app. This is
Um,
not sponsored by Calm. I wish it
not
was.
right. This
Uh,
was
we are not being paid by Calm right now. Um, but
sadly, Calm is not paying
yes,
us.
imagine ocean waves or whatever makes you happy. Some people like white noise. I can't do that.
Oh, well, it depends. I like white noise in certain circumstances for sure. But you know what I listen to like pretty much as my calming music always is Beethoven piano sonatas. That's like my number one, just throw it on. I'm on the airplane. I'm a little stressed. I'm like, is this shit gonna crash? Okay, I'll just put this on. Am I going down? Okay, I'll just.
Oh, what? Jeez, that went dark.
I know, but that's like,
But
but this is what I mean. I feel like I vacillate. I don't know if this is like, let's see, everyone who's listening right now in the chat, let me know if you feel like, me personally, I feel like I go from really, really like light, happy thoughts to really dark thoughts and then right back again. Like I'm constantly in the flow of it and I try not to stay too long in any one space. Like that's how my mind works. It's kind of like moving like that, like waves in my mind. I don't know if the group, do you guys relate to that? Is that,
yeah, it goes 0 to
yes.
60 and then back down again.
Yeah, but like not in a chaotic way. It's almost calming.
Yeah.
it almost just reminds me that everything is just thoughts, right? Like I'm just thinking. None of it's really.
Tracy says that
Yeah.
Mercury is in Gatorade right now, so that's why.
I'm a Coke person.
No, me too. But
I
I
mean,
don't know.
who's a Pepsi person?
I'm waiting in the
Like
chat, but
Britney
yeah, I don't.
Spears and Beyonce because they
But
were paid to be Pepsi people, you know?
I don't drink soda though, so
Neither do I.
every once in a while I like okay, here's the truth. I don't, but last night I got In and Out for the first time in a while. It was delicious. And I got a Coke, so I was lying. I do have it, but very rarely.
Yes, I agree. Um, at certain times, soda is really good. Um,
Yes. It
but
makes you just feel good in the soul. It's like good for the soul. It's like a chocolate chip cookie or like street dogs after a club or something,
right,
on like like those things are not good, but they're
right.
good.
Street dogs after a club. Can you make that the title of your next record after this one?
Street dogs after the club. Actually, I do have a record. So a couple of the records on my album that are like kind of the more instrumental, kind of weird, wonky stuff. I've been kind of coming up with some wild names. I actually really like that. Maybe I'm gonna take that.
I would
Street
love that
dogs, street dogs after the club.
because
Okay,
that's like
we could
such
make
a
it like really
vibe.
long, like the way street dogs hit after the club. Wait, we got to come up with this the right way.
I mean,
Does anybody wait? Hold on. In the chat though, do you guys know what we're talking about? Here in LA, in the when you get out of the clubs, there's all these little vendors that will post up like these sizzling, fresh hot
pork
dogs.
wrap, bacon wrapped
Yes,
hot dogs.
bacon wrapped hot dogs with sizzling onions and peppers, and it smells like what I imagine heaven might smell like, and they taste really good, but usually you like I can resist them if I'm like sober, but like if I've had anything to drink, then I want them. But they're not. They're definitely like they're bad, but they're good. If that makes sense.
They're also in
Street,
San
yeah. See,
Francisco. I feel like it's a California thing.
TB
I
Grumpy knows street meat. Street meat is the slang term out here in the
right.
streets.
Street meat go crazy is one suggestion.
Street meat is yes. I could call the song Street Meat.
Street
Street meat go crazy. That might
street dogs.
yeah.
I honestly just like street dogs after the club.
Street dogs after the club.
Or
All
street
right.
dogs outside the club. One of the two.
After the club's kind of cool too. Street dogs
But it
after the club.
implies the story of like we went out dancing and then we got hot dogs.
I feel like it has to be like this super pretty, really mellow song or something. No. All
Yeah.
right. No, I like it. Street dogs after the club. I think great job, team.
That was amazing. Street meat is a hit for sure. Meat beats. Oh
Meat
wow.
beats. Meat beats sounds like a mixtape name. Like, yo, my favorite presents meat beats. Like that.
Meat
That
beats.
also like doesn't sound quite right either. Like,
Um, okay, hold on. I'm just reading meat beats. LOL. I mean, meat beats isn't bad.
yeah,
I guess
street meat. No, hot street dogs after the club.
street dogs
Because
after the
street
club.
dogs after the club could be like, yo, I'm gonna go hang out with my street dogs, like my gang. Can mean
Right,
a few different things.
right. I'm gonna hang out with my gang after the club.
Jai says street meat is a Canadian thing too. Well, I didn't assume that it was an only American thing, but I'm glad to hear that our brethren of the North also
Yes.
partake in street meat. Who else takes part of street meat?
Who else takes part of street?
Nice setting yourself up for that one.
Uh, okay, I was gonna ask one other thing, which is, or I was gonna say, so I'm getting ready to go on tour.
Yes, you are.
I leave. Oh my God, we start rehearsal like in a couple days. I'm gonna be in Nashville in a couple days for rehearsal. It's insane. I've been working on everything over here, but I was thinking,
How many
we do
backflips are you going to do on stage?
how many what?
How many backflips are you going to do on stage?
Oh God, I wish I could do a backflip. However, I should say the show's gonna be great. Um,
Yeah.
but I was thinking it could be cool. We have kind of a little broken down section, and maybe it'd be cool to play part of Superhuman now that I'm thinking about it. I like didn't realize it'd be coming out like right before the tour.
I mean, if it fits, it fits. I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah. Anyways,
I gotta check your dates too. That'd be cool. I need to come to one of them.
yeah, we're playing LA March 13th if you're in town.
March 13th. Can I? I don't know if I can look at my calendar. Oh no, it's a
It's a
pause.
sun. Oh, right.
Yeah, a pause. I'm
I
back.
don't think you can.
No.
Um. All right. Well, I'm currently having dinner with a 1-year-old. Not to brag.
Oh, lucky.
We're having Japanese curry that his mom made.
That
Um,
sounds incredible.
yeah, which is really nice. So I might
Well,
return to that dinner. Um,
please do. And
but
everyone, go see Christine on tour. It's gonna be amazing. And listen to the song if you haven't. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandparents about Superhuman. And we will see you in a city, your city, for Street Meet together.
can't wait. I feel like now I know when I play LA, like you need to come to the show, and afterwards we need to take a photo outside
Street
with the
dogs after the
hot
club.
dog. Um, and I will say, I think my manager had just said, I'm actually with my manager. As some of you guys know, my manager is like my best friend. So I'm with him
Is
and his wife and child. But I think he just told me we just passed 200,000 plays on Spotify, which is sick.
That's amazing.
So thank you guys. Thanks for
Yeah,
listening. That's
thank you.
so cool.
Yes. So all of you that were watching played it thousands of times already. That's amazing. Thank you guys for doing that.
We appreciate you. But truly, yeah, I guess my parting note is that I think a few people were saying they've been having a little bit of a tough time at times, of course. How
Mm-hmm.
could you not? We're living in a very chaotic moment in human history. But I'm glad that people are relating to the song, and just know that the two people who made it feel very much the same way. We're all in it together. This is like actually the human experience, and that's really, I don't know. To me, that's really like beautiful and helpful when I'm kind of going through something. Just to remember that this
Amen.
you're doing it right. Like if you're feeling that pain and if you're feeling that moment, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're here, like inside life, and you're experiencing the moment. So, anyway,
That was awesome. Wait, I'm not going to say anything. You sent that off perfectly. Thank you,
um,
everyone. We love you. Have a wonderful evening and see you soon.
okay, love you guys. Later, Dylan.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.